I'm there, if the product is driving you nuts, it's driving me completely insane. There's only so much I can do, and it depends on how much leverage they want to give me. 2013, everyone saw that was a great return. Maybe promoted more than any return of a superstar ever. Awesome, the whole run was great. 2014 when I went back, it was almost like the writers didn't even notice that I was there. So we're not going to let that happen again. And when the time is right and everyone's on the same page, then you'll see Mr. Monday Night.
One more time! One more time! One more time!
I gotta admit, it might only be one more time.
There we go! That's all we want! One more time!
It might be a few more times, I don't know. But I'm definitely at that end of my career, for sure.
Well, I know for me, right from the beginning, it was all about the guys, and who I was working with, and I knew that I was in a very particular situation. So I always did as told and followed the storyline and followed the people that I had the amazing opportunity to work with. And oftentimes, the storyline was not what I wanted to do, but the guys always pushed me to go further. So that's how that happened.
Go ahead, Val.
Thank you for coming to San Antonio, first of all. And this question is for Chyna. I heard recently that you are actually booked to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Is that true? And if so, why didn't it happen?
I'm told that was true. Yeah, that was in the works, and then Playboy came along, the opportunity to do Playboy, and so yes, there was some friction there. But I'm glad that I made the choice to do Playboy, and that I was allowed to ultimately do Playboy, because it was a highlight of my career, being, beautiful women come in all shapes and sizes, and I wanted to show strength, power, and beauty in the ring, and that's what I was able to do through Playboy. So, but that did take away the opportunity to become world champion.
Thank you.
Now, was that a decision that you're comfortable today, or do you look back and kind of wish you'd gone for the championship?
No, I think I was really happy with the IC title, and I think that that was a pretty incredible position to have the IC title in the first place, and I don't think I would have really been able to go much further than the world title. So I'm really happy I did Playboy. Still, half of what I sign going out and seeing people are the Playboys that people are. And it was a wonderful experience, so no regrets at all.
I think I speak for a lot of guys here, which I don't think they regret your decision at all. Yes, sir, right over here.
Yes, I'd like to know how much are you enjoying the comic book era, the movie era, and what's your favorite so far?
More time.
How much are you enjoying the comic book movie era, and what's your favorite so far?
Oh, it's amazing, dude. Like I have DirecTV, so I have like 5,000 channels. It's like at one time, like Ghost Rider will be on, Fantastic Four will be on, X-Men, all at the same time on different channels, and I'm just like, wow, like the young, 12-year-old RVD would have been mind blown to imagine that the comic books were brought, to the mainstream like that, because, me and a few of my friends that liked the comic books, we were more of the geeky crowd, in school, that not everyone knew who, they all knew who Spider-Man was, but not all of the lesser characters, or, which Ghost Rider kind of was back then. But it's amazing. I think, like, when it comes to the Avengers, I didn't see the Age of Ultron yet, I still got to see that, but the Avengers movie, how do you beat that in any kind of movie? It just had everything. It was just so good from beginning to end. And I don't know if the sequel outdoes it or not, but they'll learn to outdo it. That's evolution. I'm really enjoying it. It's amazing that our interests and passions as children is could be something that right now is so part of our culture that everybody else is interested in it as well, not just us nerds.
Yes, sir.
How's it going? Thank you all for being here. My question goes up to RVD. Out of all the stuff you've done, all the crazy moves you've done, Van Terminator, what has been the one thing in your mind that you've done that was just like, wow, I can't believe I did that, or that was crazy?
I mean, nothing comes to mind. You know, a lot of the stuff that I think seems to the people watching and other wrestlers as well, when it looks like I'm taking my life into my own hands, I have a much more wider range of comfortableness in the face of danger, which is probably a flaw because outside of the ring too, I usually don't notice when I'm in danger. My heart doesn't race when it should, when other people around me are panicking. But you know, I try to do what's entertaining, what's cool, and I used to always try and outdo myself back then. I mean, I would run and dive over the rope, you know, and do like a helo to the floor, and I thought, you know, if I don't even touch the rope, that makes it so much more impressive. And then if I put a chair there and then I run and jump over the chair and over the rope and clear it, and then helo down to the floor. And then the next week I put 2 chairs there and I ran. That's what it was about back then. There's no move that I thought that I can't believe I did. You know, there's been some that were dangerous enough to warrant future safeguards, such as when Sabu and I were on opposite corners, right? On top rope, and we both jumped and put Bam Bam Bigelow through a table in the middle of the ring, and the table broke in a weird way, not just in the middle, but the legs went out, and the jagged edge ripped through my eyelid. Yeah, that one was one where I learned, okay, maybe that's a little risky, and I didn't take the move out of my repertoire. I just, in the future, every time I did it, which if you watch archive footage, you'll see after that, I put my hands over my face just in case.
What's up, number 77?
Thank you.
Thank you. This question's for both of y'all. I just want to get y'all's take on how you guys think Sting has done so far and what he still has left in the tank.
I think Sting has reached a level of superstardom and legendary status that very few in the business ever reach. He is an icon. The fans love him, and so I think it's awesome that he came back to the mainstream, and then he came to WWE for the first time. Huge. Stuff like that is huge, and he can keep doing stuff like that as long as he wants, which my understanding has always been, because when TNA inducted him into their Hall of Fame back in like 2010-ish, or 2011, the speech they gave then was that he was trying to get out of the business before Dixie talked him into even coming to TNA, and it was supposed to be for a short while, and then afterwards, when that deal was up and he was trying to get out, they kept saying, oh no, but we really need you now, and they kept throwing money at him, and he kept staying, and I gotta tell you, that's a pretty motivating reason to keep doing it.
Yes, right over here.
Hey guys, just 2 quick questions, one for each. Rob, do you know if there was ever a reason why you didn't have a ECW title run back in the day before it merged with WWE? And Chyna, with all the new NXT girls being bodybuilders, would you ever consider being not as a wrestler but as a manager of one of the younger girls? Thank you. Did that make no sense?
I was really invested into the TV title pretty much the last 2 years that ECW was alive. And in the fans' traditional frame of mind, they think, well, okay, the heavyweight championship is the big one. That's the king's crown. The other ones are lesser titles. What I did was I added so much credibility, and I ascended the value of the TV title to where the fans would all tell me that my match was the one they were looking forward to. So that became important to me and became my mission. I wanted to have the best match on the card, regardless of who I was with. Could be Little Guido, could be One Man Gang, anything in between. And to me, I was trying to be the best worker I could be, you know, in the business. I was putting it all together, building my superstar position, and that was a big part of it, was trying to make the TV title mean at least as much, if not more, than the heavyweight championship. So that way we had two different pillars within ECW that were both such a strong part of the foundation. Mike Awesome at the time, RIP, he was the heavyweight champion, and he was an awesome heavyweight champion. I mean, he's like 300 pounds. He doesn't need to dive from the top rope over the guardrail to the crowd, but he would do that. He was a great representative, an extreme champion. I wanted one day, after building the TV title up enough, to have title versus title, to where the fans would look at it as if they were on equal ground, not a King's Crown and a lesser title. And I was doing it, and that's why I was backing up being the whole effing show back then, having as long as I wanted every night, you know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that wasn't a factor. And I was able to go out there as the whole effing show and get for myself reward, feeling like I did have the best match tonight, or I did give them their money's worth. So that was that's all part of why that was artistically my favorite time in my career.
Doesn't matter, then why go for it? But if you elevate it, then both titles are worth something.
It's a classic case of the man making the title instead of the title making the man.
Very well put. Do you remember your question?
Yes, I do. Well, as far as what's been happening in the wrestling for women, I've kind of been on as many people know, I've been on a long sabbatical in Japan, and so I really haven't watched how things have been progressing at all, but learning from the guys, all my life in the ring, when I wrestled the women, the few times that I did wrestle women, it was actually really hard for me because I don't know, it was just different. I'd been trained by the guys and, match by match. And so when I wrestled the women, it was actually quite difficult for me. But I could totally see mentoring or helping out, because I think that I'm kind of that happy medium that, I can see when they wrestle a lot of things that, I'm feeling inside that I would love to, like, show them or help them, or, I can see the matches in my head when I watch them wrestle. But, yeah. Is that the question?
Can I add, when it comes to lady wrestlers in the business, being jacked, by the way, I always consider her the OG. Don't you?
Thank you. See, and that's what it's all about. But also, I really love to see some of the women like Jacqueline and Molly Holly and Ivory. They were really great in the women's division, I thought, and I'd love to see them back here, mixing it up with the women too, because I thought they were really talented and brought a lot to the women's division.
Because now they have girls like Alexa Bliss and Dana Brooke, which were bodybuilders, and now they're bringing them in. So I just figured it'd be an obvious choice for you to be paired with them.
Well, the thing is that, necessarily being big doesn't make you a great wrestler. And you have to have the athletic ability and the look and the ability to carry your own. And, to hold, this is not, that was a gift for me and a privilege every day. And it was an anomaly, and I don't think it'll ever happen again. But, I realize that. And so, for anybody, male or female, it's just not a look. You have to put it all together and have that something that makes you a superstar, something special.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Rob, I hope you have a speedy recovery. Were you partying on the Riverwalk last night? Knowing you probably were.
420! 420!
But my question is for the both of you. We all know Chyna deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. other than Chyna, who else do you both think deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
That's a really hard question because, every year there's a whole new generation of inductees, you know what I mean? And I think that, there's so many wrestlers in every generation that would be candidates. Are you thinking of wrestlers nowadays, or you're thinking of legends? Because I know it was like a big deal. Everyone wanted Randy Savage for the longest time, and then he finally got in. I don't know who all's in there. Piper should be in, right?
He's in.
Oh, he is in.
Yes, sir.
Well, there you go. See, they're doing it right. But obviously, I expect John Cena someday to be in it. He's been carrying the company on his back for
Face of the franchise.
a long, long time. Triple H will put himself in there. Yeah, he should be in there too. So that for me, I feel like all these, Undertaker, of course, all of these are candidates. And I used to not understand it because I didn't understand the celebrity part, so I thought there was no credibility to it because I was like, what? Pete Rose is in the Hall of Fame? What? But I kind of understand now there's different categories. And when it comes to, the wrestlers that have really been instrumental in helping the industry move forward. There's so many. Everyone that you think is a probably or maybe, I agree.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this one is for Chyna. I want to know what was it like to be the very first woman Intercontinental Champion?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And it's like I wasn't hearing it till, even recently. It's like, even more so that I'm finally realizing it, how special it was.
You deserve it, and you deserve the Hall of Fame also.
Thank you.
I'll be right with you, Pat, but I'll be right with you. I had a quick question, okay, ma'am? What do y'all think about the Intercontinental title not meaning as much as it used to? Since y'all are both former Intercontinental champions, has some prestige to it, but now it's kind of, I don't want to say lower level, but it's on near the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to anything.
I just think that it's 2015, not back in the day when, I just think things have changed, so therefore it's, things are different.
I agree. The emphasis changes, it's like, hey, what happened to the tag team division? Oh yeah, let's bring the tag team division back. And it's like that. It just depends on, which agents in the office I think are beating the other ones out on their ideas getting through. And I don't think much of it. I think, wherever they put the focus, it's temporary. I always do the same thing with referees too. For a while they're like, if they don't kick out and the referee, count them out if they don't get their shoulder up, or if you count to 5 and they don't get off the ropes, disqualify them. We gotta have credibility. And then a little while later, that'll. I remember when they didn't let us use the top rope. Now, that's a long time ago with Bill Watts, but that's just how they go through all this different way. This is what we're gonna do from now on. That's gonna change the business and start really drawing. It's like. I've seen that like so many times over the years where the policy is only today's policy. Yeah.
What's up, pal?
All right, you guys got the keys to the kingdom. You can book yourself in the main event at WrestleMania. Who's your all's opponent?
I'll wrestle Hulk Hogan. I want Sabu and Fonzie in my corner.
Chyna?
I don't know. There's so many good candidates. I don't know. It could be something creatively speaking. There's obviously a few choices that would make for an incredible storyline and incredible wrestling as well. But it also, you know, now that my physique has changed a little bit and a lot of time has passed, it might be, you know, amazing to pick out some fabulous diva and have, you know, have a great match as well.
Thank you, Bella.
Thank you. We got time for one more question, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir.
How you doing? Comic Book Rick here. This is for Chyna. How did it feel when you threw Vince McMahon's ass out of the ring and his neck snapped like a rubber band?
I always had a lot of fun doing stuff with Vince. Yeah, that was awesome stuff.
I thought you killed him good. Y'all have a good one. Peace out. Kiss rules.
Thank you. You know, do we have time for just one more right here?
I was just going to ask Rob, what was his defining moment that made him realize that he has arrived? You know, that moment when he said, I have arrived.
Easy. So I beat Bam Bam Bigelow for the ECW television title, right? And the next show was in Queens, New York, ECW show at the Elks Lodge. And like I said, back then I was always trying to outdo myself, like every TV, like what did I do last week? How can I top that this week? So before the show started, when we're in the arena, I'm thinking of how to take it to the next extreme, and I go to Paul. I said, hey Paul, because he was walking by. I said, what do you think about this? I want to take, because I had Mikey Whipwreck that night. I said, I want to take Mikey, I want to crotch him on the guardrail, and then I want to springboard off the other guardrail on the other side of the walkway, and I want to springboard off of there and clear the walkway, and then kick him in the face, like flying kick him. Maybe have Fonzie hold a chair over his face or something like that. Well, what do you think about that? And Paul goes, I don't think it matters what you do tonight. They're gonna love you. I was like, what are you talking about? They are gonna love you. You're gonna be so over tonight you don't even know. I was like, okay. Like, I had no idea what he was talking about, but he was absolutely right. And that particular night was when I arrived and became a superstar. And fortunately, you know, I never looked back. It's all been smooth sailing. Thanks to the fans that followed me and got behind pushing the whole effing show forward.
All right, RVD, Chyna, thank you for joining us on our panel today. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for RVD and Chyna. All right, that's going to conclude our panel for today.